Alright, so we're headed north on Marigold Drive. On the left, we actually have a section of the Barclay Conservation Area. There's a little bit on this side of the river. Most of it's on the other side of the river. Very close to the property. In fact, we'll be driving by the east side of the property, which borders Marigold Drive. When we get to the west side of the property, the conservation area is directly across the river, literally directly across the river. So that's pretty awesome. A good landmark to know you're getting really close is you'll see that old building or shed or whatnot, part of the old homestead. And that is just barely on tract 19, I believe. So next will be tract 18 on the left. And you'll see as we pass the property that it does rise up from Marigold. But there is I believe a 50-foot easement in place adjacent to Marigold where you can actually pull off here. It doesn't look like the guys have done a cut across or created the trail yet, but the easement is in place. So at some point, if you didn't want to have to mess with putting in your own driveway off Marigold, you'd have that. Also, well, where we're headed is the gravel easement road, and that'll take us down toward the west side of the property. So that's really nice as well. Okay, so that was 19. This is actually tract 18 on the left. Make sure my map right is working here. Got it on my iPad, but it shut off on me. Okay, there we go. Okay, so tract 18 on the left. And still headed north. Okay. So now tract 17 on the left. Some big timber there. The sun is starting to set on us. We're out here a little bit late in the day. Like I say, it does rise up from the road. It levels out on the top. And then as you continue to go west, it drops down toward the river. So that's tract 17 we're seeing. Which then brings us to tract 16. Again on the left, on the west side of Marigold. You certainly could put in your own driveway off of Marigold, but again, you don't have to. You can access the property via the gravel easement road as well. A lot of frontage here on Marigold. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to head north just a few hundred yards, and we'll take a left onto the gravel easement road, and that's what's going to take us down more toward the west side of the property and toward the river. So that's already in place. You don't have to do your own trail or whatnot to get down there. There's a power line. We've got power in a couple different areas here, and the easements are in place. So if and when you need power, you can get it. Okay, so now we're going to take a left off of Marigold onto the start of the gravel easement road. Here's the blue. Whoops, it got really bright there. You probably see that blue gate when you come in. This is a kind of an upper meadow area, and we're going to take this trail down the hill, and we're crossing under the power line here again. And like I said, this will take us more down toward the river. I know that some people definitely like to have their own private trail or whatever that runs the length of their property, and of course you're welcome to do that. But even if you decide to do that, it's going to certainly take a little time to do it, and in the meantime, you can still use this gravel road to get down to that west side, so that's kind of a nice thing. I'm trying to hustle here because it is late in the day and we're losing our sunshine. Coming into summertime here in the Ozarks, it's been a beautiful day. Upper 70s, quite a few people out on the river in canoes and kayaks having a great time. You can hear the laughter. Now as we get to the bottom, come to a T in the road, we can go left or right, and we are going to go left. There's the power once again. Beautiful bottom field with the river off at the edge. So like I say, we'll go left. I really don't think the guys are out here working today, but I can see some of the equipment. And that might be the road we wanted to take right there that they're blocking with all their fancy equipment. So that is kind of the secondary easement road that cuts across the property. I think what we'll do down here for tract 16 is we'll just shoot on down here and we'll get to one of the pretty sites at the river and we can have a look at that. You'll notice these tires on tract 15. That is someone who is building an earthship home, and you can Google that. It's pretty cool. It will be on a full concrete foundation and it'll be set back from the road, so it is within the covenants. And those tires are part of the wall system, but they'll be covered on the exterior. So now here's the survey stake right here. We're crossing into tract 16. As soon as you cross over that power line, you're into tract 16. So I mean, the power is just right there. It's there when you need it on this property. Oh, and that's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. The river is actually right at the end of this meadow. It drops down, but there's also a walking trail where you can walk right down to one of the gravel bars. Ton of frontage on the river here. Okay, so we're about to pull onto the property. Where are the survey stakes? Whoop, there's a survey marker right there. So as soon as you pass this power pole with the meter, then you're on the property. Beautiful meadow area. Straight ahead of us is the Niangua River. And I'm gonna pull into the shade here and we'll hop out and have a look at this bad boy. This is gorgeous. So this is one of the tracts that is directly across from the Barclay Conservation Area. So pretty special property. Okay, before I hop out, I'm gonna grab a survey map so we can see how much river frontage we're talking about. Okay, oh, quite a bit of river. Looks like I've got to do some quick math here. Right about 250 feet of direct frontage on the Niangua on tract 16 here. So I'm going to walk over here to the side that overlooks the river, and then we'll actually walk down a little trail to the water itself. And you can hear some people out there having fun on the river today, Saturday afternoon. And this is a pretty good drop here. There's some people down there as well. It had rained a couple of days ago, so this water is a little churned up. It's usually much more clear than this. So here you've got a spot that overlooks the river, and you certainly could do an access point to the water if you had a skid loader or something else with the bucket. But in the meantime, we're gonna go and take a look at the trail. The guys said they found a little trail that goes right down to the water, and we're gonna check that out. How you doing? Gorgeous open flat area right here. I mean, you can drive, obviously you can drive right to this spot, and then 250 feet of frontage gives you a lot of options. If you wanted to be right down here where the action was, you could potentially have your campsite or whatnot down here. Check the map to see the different, if you have the map right, full version, I believe you can look at the FEMA flood map, but most of this property is high and dry. Oh, this is actually really nice. So we've got a path going right down to the water. That's great. Like I said, a super popular section of river, and directly across is the Barclay Conservation Area. So a lot of these people potentially put in their canoes or kayaks at one of the access points at the Barclay Conservation Area, and they're just going on a short little float down the river here. Fish for rainbow and brown trout right from your own property. Pretty amazing. So in the summertime, obviously, you're going to have some other people using the river. We were down here working during the fall and earlier in the spring, and there were very few people on the river. But now, coming into the actual summertime, you definitely have some people here. Gorgeous open section of water. So conservation land across, about 250 feet of direct frontage. We'll do a drone video as well. And I think that'll show this better than we can really show it on foot. Like I said, the water's pretty churned up. We had all that rain a couple days ago. Generally it'd be more clear than this. A beautiful, beautiful section of river. So there you have it with tract 16 on the Niangua River, Dallas County, Missouri. White ribbon trout fishing section.